his ceiling is a lot higher than what he's doing right now. His ceiling is massively higher than what he's doing now. Does J.R. Smith have his head on straight? Great question, and I don't know. That is a huge question mark right there. And also, Lakers being linked to Kyle Korver. Kyle Korver is looking at the Lakers, the Sixers, I think Utah, I believe, is in the mix. If I'm the Lakers, I'm not bringing Kyle Korver over. What has he done in the playoffs with the game on the line or without the game on the line? What has he done? Forget the regular season. What has Kyle Korver done to help you win a playoff game in the past 2 years? Nothing. So I'm not in on Kyle Korver going to the Lakers either. Someone would have paid Ben Simmons if it wasn't Philly. Great point. Smith is a good bench player. If not, then JR can go play somewhere else. Yeah. I agree. And again, like I said, I'm not in on the Kyle Korver going to the Lakers either. All right, so we're going to take a break, very quick break. When we get back, we got UFC Sacramento. We got Tony Romo news. And rest in peace to a boxing Hall of Famer. Also, the Benny Awards to the top performers of the weekend. You can put those in the chat room whenever you want. We got about 12 minutes left in the show. We'll be right back. You're tuned in to the Weekend Wrap-Up Show. I'm your host, Ben, a.k.a. BS3.
We all hate when we have unexpected car problems. Well, I am here to tell you about a viable solution. Bay 11 Auto and my man, Melvin. You have emission problems? Brakes need changing? Transmission slipping? Is your car just driving sluggish? No problem is too big. I live on the other side of town and I drive over an hour to a guy that I trust. Melvin is honest, dependable, and definitely not in the business to break your pockets. Come see the official mechanic, Melvin, at Bay 11 Auto. You will be glad you did. You can reach him at 1455 General Arts Road, Conyers, Georgia, or 404-295-5715. That's 404-295-5715.
Welcome back to the Weekend Wrap-Up Show, episode 136. Keeping it going. Shout out to JB Jennings in the building. Thank you for tuning in. All right, so UFC Sacramento wasn't a main UFC fight. It was one of their fight night fights, but it was two huge knockouts that I want to talk about. RJ Faber TKO's Ricky Simon in 46 seconds. The fastest finish in his career. 46 seconds. That didn't take long at all. And then Jermaine Duradium beats Aspen Ladd in 16 seconds. Ladd was upset about the stoppage, which was by Herb Dean. It was an early stoppage, but the way she got knocked down, and this is a conversation for boxing and UFC. At what point do you decide the person or the fighter is ineligible to fight? At what point do you decide that? Because this, in some instances, this is their lives in the balance. They could die. They could die in the octagon, in the ring. They could have lasting head injuries. So I pose that question to the chat room. At what point, being a referee, do you decide to stop the fight? Because there's some instances where the fighter says, I could have kept fighting. Why'd you stop it? In some instances, the fighter's so knocked out that he can't even get up or he's wobbly. So that's a great conversation to have because, again, these people's lives could be in the balance. Their mental health, their physical health, they could be having a concussion. You don't know. Benny Award, Courtney says to Simona Halep, Djokovic and Federer get many awards for their epic match. All three of those guys get one for sure. Simona Halep with her first Wimbledon. I talked about that. But I pose that question to you guys. At what point, what is the right point to stop a fight? But in both of those fights, they were clearly knocked out. Now, Aspen, in the women's fight, she did get up and she looked like she had her bearings, but you never know. I mean, you gotta really factor in what's best for the fighter. Not for now, but what's best for the fighter in their future, what's best for them in that octagon and in the ring. So, rest in peace to boxer Pernell Whitaker, who died at 88. Sad to see that. We all know that death is going to come. We all know that we can't live forever. But when someone is taken away, which he was hit by a car, that's something that really could have been prevented. I mean, him being hit by a car could have been something that would have that was prevented by whoever hit him. So he was taking silver in 1982 World Championships, avenging that defeat. A year later, he won gold in 1983. He was a champion. That's sad, man. That's sad to hear that. That's something that you don't want to see or hear at all. Inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 2006. Sad to see. Rest in peace, Pernell Whitaker. He was 44-1 with 17 KOs. And again, man, it's just a sad thing to see. Sad to see. The ref has to protect the fighters long term, says Courtney. R.I.P. Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea was the truth. He was a beast. He definitely was. And gone too soon. 55 is still young. And the way that he died, again, that's something that did not actually have to happen. So rest in peace. Tony Romo wins the American Century Championship. Golf. Tony Romo has been known to be a golfer. He spent some of his offseason. He spent some of his bye weeks playing golf. He wins a celebrity golf tournament second straight. So shout out to Tony Romo. He'll be back in the booth for CBS coming around NFL season, which training camp starts in a couple of weeks. Your team's training camp is probably starting in a couple of weeks. And football is on the way. Football is not very far away. So got something to be excited about. Sugar Ray Leonard, Sweet Pea, Roy Jones Jr. are my all-time favorites. Speaking of boxing, what is your prediction on Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman? I'm picking Keith Thurman. And not only am I picking Keith Thurman, but I'm also saying that this will be Manny Pacquiao's last fight. How much longer can you continue to box? At the age that he's at 40 years old, and you're going up against Keith Thurman, which is a young up-and-comer, number one. And number two, he's probably seen Pacquiao fight his entire life. So I'm going with Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman is 30 years old, so 10 years younger. He's lost 0 fights, 29-0. Fight going down in Vegas. He's defending his WBA super welterweight title. I'm going with Keith Thurman. Let me know what you think. Chat room, let me know what you think. Oscar De La Hoya robbed Sweet Pea that decision. Pacquiao needs to stop. Yeah, it's time. Now, if he wins I will come back on here and you know that I will give him a shout out. You know I will talk about it on the weekend wrap-up show. But I'm thinking that he's going to lose this. And I'm thinking this is going to be it. This is the last. This is it for him. Thurman says, said Galloway. I'm rolling with Pacquiao, says Courtney. We will see. We will see. So on to the Benny Awards, to the top performers of the weekend. I have 2 for this weekend. You can put yours in the chat room if you have. Simona Halep getting her first ever Wimbledon over tough competition in Serena Williams. Also, Novak Djokovic getting his 5th Wimbledon championship. Salute to both Simona Halep, Novak Djokovic, and winning their Wimbledon titles. Round of applause. And talking about Thurman Pacquiao, Thurman did not look good in his last fight, says Courtney. I think Pacquiao would give Thurman a good fight. Thurman barely beat Lopez and is still not back coming off that 2-year layoff. Good point. Great point for both of you guys. Great point. And I'm not the biggest of boxing fans to be able to spit the facts out, and I do respect both of you guys' opinion. I'm still going to go with Thurman. And like I said, I'll definitely be talking about it. Fight coming up Saturday, I believe. This coming Saturday. Other news breaking today. I don't know if you guys heard about this story as we got a couple minutes left in the show. Also, I'll be back on tomorrow with the Dope Music Podcast. Be featuring hip-hop on tomorrow's show. Also talking some sports. We'll see if the CP3 trade possibly goes down. Coming up later today, we got DJ Knox. Also, we have Midnight Love Jones coming on at 7. DJ Knox coming on at about 4 Central. So make sure to keep it locked. But did you hear about the story of robot umps coming to Major League Baseball? I talked about this probably a couple weeks ago. And it's a strong possibility because they already have robot umps in the lower leagues. So we'll see if anything comes of that. A robot ump is still not going to be perfect. It's a computer. So there's not really a way you can perfectly pinpoint that everything will go perfect on any sport. Any sport at all. So thank you everybody for tuning in to the Weekend Wrap-Up Show, episode 136. Her first, his 5th. Hashtag Wimbledon. Hashtag join the story. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for the Dope Music Podcast right here on X Squad Radio. Have a good rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace. Oh, real quick, before I go, let me say this. Happy birthday to Grego coming into the building. Appreciate you for coming through. Much love. Now I'm out. Peace. God is love. Peace.